3 minutes. That's all it took to flip my entire world upside down. 3 minutes ago, the so-called queen of our neighborhood blocked an ambulance from reaching a dying woman. 3 minutes later, I landed a medical helicopter right in the middle of her precious golf course, and for the first time, she realized what real power looked like. My name's Benjamin Carter. Most people just call me Ben. I'm 35, a medical helicopter pilot, 12 years of combat tours and emergency rescues under my belt. I've flown through sandstorms, gunfire, and chaos, but nothing, and I mean nothing, prepared me for suburban warfare in Willowbrook Estates. It started on an ordinary Tuesday night. I'd just come off a 14-hour shift, 3 medevacs, 2 trauma calls, 1 brutal car crash. All I wanted was a cold beer and a quiet night. Instead, I was elbow-deep in grease fixing my stubborn lawnmower when I heard something off. At first it sounded like furniture moving, then a muffled cry. Weak. Desperate. Instinct kicked in before thought. Across the street was Dr. Rose Bennett, 70 years old, retired cardiologist, and possibly the kindest soul in this HOA-run circus. I ran to her door. Knocked. Nothing. But through the window, I saw her collapsed by her armchair, one hand clutching her chest. I didn't think I smashed the glass, climbed through, and called 911 while checking her pulse. Weak. Shallow breathing. Cyanosis. Classic heart attack. The dispatcher said an ambulance was 12 minutes out. I'd waited through firefights shorter than that. I stayed with Rose talking to her, even though she was unconscious, praying I hadn't been too late. When the sirens finally echoed in the distance, relief hit me until I remembered the damn HOA gate. It locked automatically at 10 p.m. I sprinted outside to call security, and that's when I saw her. Beverly Hutchinson, the self-appointed queen of Willowbrook, stepping out of the HOA office like a villain in pearls. Perfect silver hair power suit, remote control in hand. The ambulance lights flickered just beyond the gate. I yelled, "Mrs. Hutchinson, open it. A woman's having a heart attack." She looked at me like I'd tracked mud onto her marble floor. "Mr. Carter, that's not possible. County noise ordinances prohibit emergency vehicles between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. It's in Section 12B. I stared at her. "She'll die if they don't get through." Her smile didn't move. "Rules exist for a reason. We can't make exceptions for every little emergency." Then she pulled out her phone. "I'm documenting this for the HOA board. Mr. Carter is yelling and making threats." I wasn't yelling, at least not yet, but my voice broke with panic. "Beverly, please, she's not breathing right. Every second counts." "Are you threatening me, Mr. Carter?" she said, holding her phone higher. Behind her, the ambulance idled helplessly, lights flashing. The medics shouted through the gate, trying to pass equipment through the bars. Something snapped inside me. Maybe it was exhaustion, maybe flashbacks of red tape killing soldiers overseas. I told her, "Fine. If you won't let them in, I'll bring her out." I ran back, lifted Dr. Rose into my arms, and started down the slick street toward the back gate, 400 meters through cold rain. My legs burned, my back screamed, but I kept going. Halfway there, her pulse faded, and for 30 long seconds I thought she was gone. The medics reached us just in time. They shocked her once, twice she came back. Barely. When the ambulance finally sped off, I turned around. Beverly was standing there, still recording. "Thank you for the footage, Mr. Carter," she said coldly. "You'll be hearing from the board." And I did. 2 days later, I got an envelope thick enough to choke a shredder. 4 violations: destruction of property, threatening a board member, unauthorized entry, disturbing the peace. Fine $3,000. 10 points and you lose the right to reside in Willowbrook Estates. Signed, Beverly Hutchinson. I should have ignored it, paid the damn fine, but something about the wording felt too professional, too rehearsed. I started digging. Turns out I wasn't her first victim. 5 families before me fined, harassed, driven out their houses, sold below market, and bought by Beverly's relatives. A suburban scam hiding behind manicured lawns and bylaws. Officer Torres, a local cop I knew from barbecues, confirmed my suspicion. "Ben, if she really blocked an ambulance, that's obstruction of emergency services, felony charge. But you'll need proof, video witnesses, intent." Proof. That word stuck with me. I gathered emails, bank statements, security logs, everything. I even found out she'd been routing HOA emails through her personal account to hide paper trails. I was ready when they summoned me to the disciplinary hearing. The community center overflowed 40-plus neighbors murmuring. Beverly presided at the head table, gavel in hand, eyes gleaming with superiority. "Mr. Carter," she began, "you stand accused of multiple serious violations." Then she played security footage, edited of course, to make me look like an angry man yelling for no reason. The audience shifted uncomfortably. When it was my turn, I stood. This isn't about lawn rules, it's about power, about one person putting control above human life. I presented my evidence, the forged emails, the real estate records, the bank transfers. The whispers turned into shouts. Beverly's face paled, and then the door opened. A young woman walked in, tall, confident, same silver hair, but softer, natural. "I'm Madison Hutchinson," she said, "and I have something to add." Beverly's mask cracked. "Madison, leave now." "I can't, Mom." Madison dropped a box of documents on the table. "I'm your daughter, and I've watched you destroy this community. These are bank statements, $15,000 transferred from HOA funds to your personal account, and emails proving you manipulated official records." Her voice trembled. "I begged you to get therapy. I wrote you letters, you tore them up. But after what happened to Dr. Rose, I can't stay silent." The room erupted. Beverly screamed that it was a setup, that I'd turned her daughter against her. Madison just whispered, "Mom, I'm trying to save you from yourself." The vote that night, 38-7. Beverly suspended finances under investigation. I thought it was over. I was wrong. 48 hours later, she launched her counterattack. An email blast to every resident subject line, "Community Safety Alert." It accused me of being unstable, violent, even predatory toward children. She'd taken innocent photos, me fixing a bike, teaching kids drones, and twisted them. Within hours, neighbors crossed the street to avoid me. HR at work put me on leave. I sat in my helicopter alone, staring at those lies, wondering if this was how soldiers felt when the enemy fired propaganda instead of bullets. For the first time, I questioned myself. Maybe moving here was a mistake. Maybe I should sell, disappear, start over somewhere nobody knew my name. That's when Dr. Rose appeared. Fragile but fierce, clutching an old newspaper clipping. The headline read, "Hero Pilot Saves Bus Crash Victims." There I was, 20 years younger, standing beside a boy with a broken arm. "You saved my grandson that day," she said softly. "He's a doctor now." And when I told him what Beverly did, he said something you should hear. "That pilot didn't just save my life, he saved my future. Ben, don't let her take that away from you." I looked at that photo and knew what I had to do. I called dispatch. "Jenny, I need to schedule a training exercise. Location Willowbrook Golf Course." There was silence. "Ben, are you sure?" "Completely." Monday morning, perfect blue sky. Beverly stood in her yard, watering roses, queen of her tiny empire. Then came the sound, whop, 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 growing louder by the second. The helicopter appeared over the horizon, red and white medical markings glinting in the sun. I was at the controls. I brought her down low, hovering above the manicured greens. Residents poured out of their houses, phones up, jaws dropped. The rotor wash sent Beverly's roses scattering across her driveway. I landed dead center on her sacred golf course. She stormed toward me, shouting over the noise, "This is private property, you can't." I held up my phone, live streaming to the world. "Good morning, Willowbrook Estates. 2 days ago, someone used HOA authority to spread lies and block emergency services. Today we're demonstrating what real emergency response looks like." Neighbors gasped. Comments on the stream flooded in hundreds, then thousands. Beverly lunged for my phone, but 2 residents stepped between us. She screamed, "You're all conspiring against me. I am the law here." That's when Officer Torres arrived, lights flashing. "Mrs. Hutchinson, step back," he ordered calmly. She froze, trembling. And then from the crowd, Madison appeared again, walking straight toward her mother. "Mom," she said, voice shaking, "it's over. The lies, the control, it ends today." Beverly looked from her daughter to the helicopter, to the crowd watching, and something inside her broke. She collapsed onto the grass, sobbing. I ended the live stream with one line. "Sometimes justice really does come from above." And that was it. The queen had fallen. I didn't feel triumphant, just hollow. Standing there in the rotor wash, I realized this wasn't about revenge. It was about showing people what happens when power replaces humanity. In the end, that's the only lesson that matters. When rules cost lives, breaking them is the most human thing you can do.